My current project is a live recording called Big Funk. So it's Big Funk, or Big Fun with a K in parentheses, so Big Funk Live. And it's a collection of material that I recorded with my funk band, which is called Big Funk. We've been together about 4 years now. And so we do gigs around New Jersey and wherever, just kind of whenever we can, basically. But I grew up in the 70s, and so I learned funk music before I learned what jazz was, you know, in the 70s. And so with an opportunity to actually perform that music, I was happy to actually do it. I've been thinking about it for a long time. We actually formed a band and did it, and we did some gigs. We did this live recording. Finally, I got it mixed and organized and got into a CD. So I just released it on my own little label, Creative Perspective Music. Just started it. So I've had the company for a long time, and the record label is just a new kind of aspect of it, because in the new scene, in this current scene, it actually makes sense if you have enough, if you have the energy to put into it. Having your own label makes sense for a lot of us. And I think for me it's going to make sense. So we'll see if someone offers me some money or someone gets interested, then maybe I'll take it. But in the meantime, I'm putting it out myself. And it's so it'll be on Amazon, CD Baby, kind of the usual artist direct kind of scenarios, iTunes as well. And it's Carl Latham on drums, who's my co-leader, Nick Rotham keyboards, and the great Gary Foote, who's with Blood, Sweat and Tears, great bass player. So it's really jazz funk. I mean, we're flying through it as jazz guys can, but it's grooving in the funk way. And so it's really fun. I'm really proud of it. And it's actually, ironically, I guess I'm coming full circle in a way, because it's the first project of mine that I own. Because the others are all label projects. My other 15 CDs are all label projects, so they own all those. And so this is the first one that I own. So I guess, you know, I started off playing funk music, got into jazz. I'm starting off with my little label. The first one's a funk record. Why not? So Big Funk Live, recorded at Cecil's Jazz Club in West Orange, New Jersey, one of the great jazz clubs, owned by a musician. And in this challenging times, he's hanging in there, so it's cool. But so we'll do a CD release party and all that stuff. So that's my current adventure. Well, it's interesting. So far, it's a younger audience, which I think is great. You know, because in the long term, I'm looking for ways to integrate my jazz, straight ahead jazz career with my fun career. Should it evolve to such, and hopefully it'll, like so many of the good players who've had, you know, some, like Grover Washington Jr. or, you know, Freddie Hubbard or Wayne Shorter, you know, who've had really successful kind of fusion funk projects and therefore have expanded their audience, and therefore the audience of jazz. I'm hoping then to, you know, follow in those footsteps. So yeah, we're getting some younger folks, and my daughter loves everything. I guess I can't really use her as a guide, but certainly her friends, they hear the funk record, they're like really into that. They say, oh, that's nice, the other stuff, but then they start dancing when I play the funk music. So I think that's a good sign. So we'll see. The more younger people that are into any kind of improvised instrumental music, the better. Yeah, the other current project that I'm working on now is something that is not out yet, but it'll be my next release on my label. I expect it that way anyway, is something with the great vocalist Vanessa Rubin. So what we've done is we've been working together again over the years as a group with Vanessa, myself, Cecil Brooks III on drums, Kyle Kohler, young organ player who's made a number of my records, great player, and Dave Stryker. And that group has made a number of gigs, and so what we've recorded now, the record's done, we just have to get it mixed and get it done, get it produced and out, is, we haven't actually named it yet, but it's similar to something like a Houston Person Etta Jones. So it's a swinging and with a pretty strong blues influence. Certainly modern jazz is part of all of what we do as well, so that's mixed in there. But it's also, in a way, it's got a significant entertainment side to it. You know, especially with Vanessa, she knows how to engage the audience, and so that side of it is a very interesting kind of expansion of what I've done as a modern jazz guy. I've got a strong blues influence in what I play anyway, and with the Don Braden Vanessa Rubin project, we're following the footsteps of some of the giants. And I had to talk to Houston Person, who's another master on this jazz cruise, and who I'm looking forward to seeing and hanging with him some more. I talked to him about it already. He was like, I want to hear it as soon as you get it done. So I can't wait to get his feedback on it, because I think that's the audience. His audience is part of what we're looking for. We're also looking for the younger audience as well. He has a bit of a more mature crowd, let's say, but still, that's with Etta now being passed away, rest in peace. There's really room for some of us who are a little bit younger to come up and share that tradition and get into that music and swing like that, because it's awesome. So that'll be out this year as well. I'll get that out by the fall at the latest, if not late spring. So that's Don Braden, Vanessa Rubin. What do you want to call it? I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna call it. I'll think of a title at some point when the record gets done. But that's my next thing.